Welcome back to The Explainer. If you've been hanging out with us through the last 14 breakdowns of remote work systems, you have officially reached the finish line. Today is basically graduation day. We're zeroing in on KMI Virtual Solutions and breaking down their specific scaling strategy. You already know the basics, so now we're looking at what actually happens when you truly scale your income. Here's our roadmap for today's Explainer. We're going to break down KMI's exact 6-step methodology, starting with the KMI vision, then foundation and consistency, stacking for growth, the shift from side to study income, mentoring and leadership, and finally, the strategy call. Okay, let's jump right into section 1, the KMI vision, and look at the bigger picture. There is a quote directly from the KMI whiteboard that just perfectly captures this entire phase. This is where it gets good. I absolutely love that. The energy here shouldn't feel like a grind. It should genuinely feel like a breakthrough. The whole vibe KMI projects is just so warm, fired up, and incredibly personal. It's that amazing realization that you aren't just learning software anymore. You are actively taking what you've built and growing it into something that can genuinely change your life. Now, the KMI process isn't just random guesswork. It is a very deliberate 6-step ascending staircase. You start with one client, you build your consistency, you add more hours, then you certify for a second client, hit steady income, and ultimately you build something real full-time. Let's walk up this staircase together. Moving right along to section 2, foundation and consistency. This is all about building the habit. Let's look at step 1. You really can't scale a house built on sand, right? So KMI explicitly advises against trying to do everything all at once. You definitely do not want to try and certify for 3 programs before you've even mastered 1. The strategy here is absolute, full focus on a single, beginner-friendly client. That is exactly where your entire foundation gets built. And this requires buying into a core KMI mantra, which is, the income follows the habit. Listen, in the beginning, it's really not about working the maximum possible hours in week 1. Not at all. It's about showing up to your scheduled blocks week after week with 0 gaps. It's about building that crucial muscle memory for the work. So why is that habit absolutely vital? Well, in the KMI system, your consistency practically translates into platform rewards. Think of a strong track record like a key. It literally unlocks better scheduling blocks and significantly higher earning potential for you. Build that habit first, and I promise you the income naturally follows. Let's jump into section 3, stacking for growth. We're talking about expanding those hours. This is where we hit the middle of the staircase and things really start to accelerate. Once you're completely comfortable and consistent with your first program, that is when you expand. First, you gradually push your weekly hours up during peak times, and then comes the real game changer. You certify for a second client program. This changes literally everything. KMI calls this their stacking strategy. You are basically bringing a second client online with the exact same schedule. The math here is simple, but it's incredibly powerful. 2 programs equals more block availability. More availability means more hours, and more hours, that means significantly more income. This is exactly how your part-time effort transforms into a full-time career. And that brings us to section 4, sign to study income. This is where the big shift happens. This shift is a major turning point, and it's really the core promise of the KMI system. Side income is just that extra money you squeeze in around your existing life. But when you master this stacking strategy, the work stops feeling like a side hustle. Your schedule becomes entirely predictable. Those payouts on the 1st and the 15th, they transform from bonus money into reliable income you can actually plan your whole life around. Let's look at section 5, mentoring and leadership. It's time to give back and grow. We are now reaching the highest steps on the KMI staircase. And what a lot of folks don't realize is that your solid track record actually opens up entirely new avenues. Experienced agents get to give back by mentoring the newer folks coming up behind them. You literally become the person who has the answers, simply because you've lived it. It's such an incredibly warm and inviting ecosystem. This tier goes so far beyond just an individual paycheck. It's really about long-term motivation and being part of something so much bigger than yourself. KMI actively offers leadership roles to agents who demonstrate that consistency, professionalism, and a genuine, heartfelt desire to see others succeed. It's honestly how you stay deeply connected to the work.
Finally, we reach section 6, the strategy call. It's time to book your next step.
This is the exact mechanism KMI uses to propel serious agents into those higher tiers of success. Now, KMI is very specific about who this call is for. It is not for day one beginners. It is specifically for agents who have put in the work, who look up at that staircase and say, you know what, I am ready to scale. Whether you want to stack a second client, step into mentoring, or build out a full-time plan, this call is for you. And the sources frame this beautifully. This is explicitly not some high-pressure sales pitch. No way. It is a real, grounded conversation. It's a personalized analysis of your current progress, and it leaves you with actionable next steps that you can implement the absolute minute you hang up the phone. So here is the sincere reality check. If you follow these steps, the pathway is completely clear. The support is right here, and the community is waiting for you. You aren't just curious about remote work anymore. You are fully prepared to execute. The only thing left is for you to decide to build this into something bigger. Which leaves us with one final thought. We have seen exactly how this stacking methodology works. The roadmap is absolutely proven to turn casual effort into a real steady livelihood. So, what is actually stopping you from taking that very first step on the staircase today? Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer and honestly for this entire journey. Keep learning, keep growing, and go build something amazing. I'll see you next time.